This is the Good Governance Radio. Good Governance Radio.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
The Good Governance Radio.
Good day, everybody. Good day, the followers and the lovers of Efficient Grace for the Hopeless Foundation. Good day, the lovers of Good Governance Radio. We're live with you this afternoon on Good Governance Radio, www.ggr.com.ng. That is where it is happening live, and we're here today to still talk to you and share with you on that program we called Oh Salad. Have you been able to save a life a day? Have you been able to save somebody? Is there somebody that is beckoning on you for help that you've not been able to reach out to? This is time to do it. And we're here to, talk about domestic violence, child sexual abuse, and drug addiction. Drug addiction has taken a turn in our society, in our country, in this, among the youths and to the children. So today, last week we talked about child security, and in talking about child security, we discussed about emotional security, physical and environmental security, psychological, financial security, spiritual security, and all of that. And we dragged it at length. But today we'll be going out of that part, and we'll be talking more on the role of the religious in the growing rate of rape cases and the defilement in Nigeria. And we're with you live. This program is anchored by Efficient Grace for the Hopeless Foundation. And we're not just here on the radio talking. We are at the ground. We're on foot. We're doing the action work in the slums and the rural area of this country. So it's not just about talking. As we talk, we do. So today we'll be talking on the roles of the religious in the growing rate of rape cases in the country. Is it affecting you? How how are you seeing it? Or you just feel that you should go to church, sing and dance and feel all right and go home? Remember, I'm still your number one love giver, Amarachi Mogochuku. I'm still the one behind the writer and behind the motivation of so many things you see that you always imagine, well, where is it coming from? I'm still that your number one love giver. Love is the ultimate. So while we, continue, I know you have a spiritual director. There is somebody you listen to. There is somebody that talks to you. There is somebody that you always, maybe, even if you're a Muslim, a Christian, an atheist, an ordinary person, as in a traditionalist, and all of that. There are things that are not right that even your religion condemns. So why you think of child sexual abuse, rape, and defilement? Is it one of the things that your faith condemns? We'll be taking a break and we'll come back to you. Please copy the link, share the link, talk to somebody to talk to somebody. And we're coming back to you in the next 3 seconds. And we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and like this page. We're coming back to you in the next 2 seconds. Stay tuned with us.
Your systems are offline.
This is the Good Governance Radio. GGR. Stay with us.
Yes, welcome back live to that program, Old Salad, Operation Save a Life a Day. And I keep saying it that if over 200 million people that are in Nigeria can help one person a day, we'll be living in heaven on earth. But I don't know, it's about individual, it's about mindset, it's about persons. But back to what we're talking about, the role of the religious in the growing rate of rape, defilement, and sexual abuses against children in Nigeria. First, I want to start with the message on the pulpits. It's not about church now, it's not about Christianity, but it's about whatever you believe in. It's about whatever you hold sacred. That's where I'm coming from. Because when I get to read the Bible and I relate with my friends who are, who are Muslims and those who say they're ordinary and that's the traditionalist, I found out that there is one common thing. And what's that common thing? They all believe in defilement. They all believe that a child is a child. Then if we all, because I know Nigeria is a religious country. If you're not a Christian, you're a Muslim. If you're not a Muslim, you're a traditionalist, or you belong to one thing or the other. So if all of us are religious and there is some spirit we are scared of, where we hold sacred, or there is something that we hold sacred, please and please, who are the ones defiling these children? When you get one person in the act, you find out everybody will say, condemn him, fight him, kill him, do this, do that. But when you investigate and go deep and, interrogate the children around them, you find out that that person shouting, kill him, kill him, kill him, is even doing worse. So what do we listen to? Most times I get to religious places and I feel that those people have derailed in totality from what they are meant to do. The first place I heard of sex education was in a block rosary. As far back as 80s and 90s, it was in the block rosary where we gathered to pray as children. When I met the brother that was anchoring the block rosary in Onisha, after about 20-something years, I still recognized him. And the way I hugged him, people were like, who is he? Even the wife was embarrassed. And immediately I mentioned my name, he still remembered. Because I'm not always silent when I'm into something. I always get to the forefront to see that thing I'm involved in is working. So by the time I introduced myself and told him one or two things I learned from him that kept me in the life I live today, and he said he felt fulfilled. So at the pulpits, at the religious gathering, at that spirit-filled gathering, what are we discussing? Most people go to church today because they want to be rich. All of us mustn't be rich. All of us mustn't be exceedingly rich. There are wealthy parents that still have among their children a poor child. I wouldn't say poor because that person may be performing in his own area of wealth. Wealth is not about physical cash. And these are the things that the religious and the spirit-filled people have refused because they themselves don't even understand it. That riches is not about the physical cash. It's not about how much you have in your account, because there is a problem that will come. No matter how much you have in your account, it will melt like wax. But that gift, that thing that you have that have been sown into you, maybe from your mercer or from the religious gathering you attend, could be the only solution or the only thing that will save you at that moment. It's your own wealth. When we talk about the wealth of knowledge, then nobody preaches about that anymore. Nobody talks about the wealth of, living a life of honesty. I was going through someone's post and he was attacking the husband for being an honest man. That she went to take loan, expecting them to hang it on the husband so she would run away. Because the man refused to, take somebody else's money in the office. And this is somebody that goes to church or goes to mosque or is a traditionalist. I remember in my place, they said that there is what is called nsana, an abominable thing. In the Chronicles of Efficient Grace that has been going on our platform, there's a case I wanted to write, but each time I want to write it, I feel cold. Why? Because a father, one Aduma who raped a child of 13 in Lagos, ran to Abuja here. Got married, ran to Abuja here, and gave birth to his own children. The first is a male child, and the wife never knew he was defiling that child. until she gave birth to the second one. And each time she wants to bathe a 1-month-old baby, she finds out that some sperm cells, some sperm mucus are coming out from a baby's body. And this is somebody that his father is a knight in the church. Himself goes to church. Tomorrow he will be a titled person. And I learned while we were handling that issue, that case, I found out that he's even an incest person, or he's a titled guy in the traditional whatever. They fired your first son, they fired your first daughter. So I ask, what is the role of the religious? Or are we all going to church to hear receive it? What are we receiving when the future is destroyed? When you receive it and come back, that child that you refuse to mold, that child that you refuse to brood, that child that you neglected must have become so bitter, and that you receive it, the child will kill you in that receive it. So it's not about receive it. The narrative should change. The message or the pulpit should change. You know, when John the Baptist was in the forest and he was shouting, "You brood of vipers," they say he was so raw, he was so vulgar, and all of that. But his being raw was what made the message to get to us. If he was soft spoken, we wouldn't have remembered him. He would have been among the silent ones that went away. He would have been among the silent ones. But he knew that these people their ears are blocked, that their eyes are closed to good things. So he decided to come hard on them. So with the level of things that are going on, where sexual immorality is something that people glorify and, they clamor, they applaud it. It is time the preachers, those who are our role models, it is time they come hard on the youth, on the youth, and come hard on the society. And call a spade a spade. No more petting things. I was listening to a whole series of preaching and all of that. Just very few will be edifying the spirit. Everyone is after receive it, sow seed, pay tithe, and all of that. Abba. And our children are wasting. The message the stuff I'm talking of now is that the message needs to change on the altar to start to change the mindset of the people. Those who are preaching the negative aspects of life are, gaining more ground. Because that's what the people want to hear. If I want us to go viral, if I want us before 24 hours, we'll have let me say 80,000 followers. It's just to act nude and, do one or two stupid things. And you see it go viral. But so long you're talking of something morals, talking of something that will protect the future, talking of something that will help the next generation, so talking of building the nation or whatsoever, nobody's interested. Because even at the church, even at those places we gather for religious and spiritual things, all they after, even the traditionalists, all they are telling you is that why you're not prospering, why you're not making money is because your father, grandfather is holding you. You need to do this, do that. And you still come to church, come to mosque, the same thing. Were there not people who were poor in the olden days and they still got married and they still lived happily? I get disappointed when I hear people say that if you don't have money, you shouldn't marry. If you don't have money, you shouldn't bear children. That's not the message you should preach. The message is in whatever you found yourself, you should be contented. Contentment. Contentment. If everybody becomes rich, who will be your cleaner? If everybody becomes rich, who will be your cook? If everybody becomes rich, who will do the menial job? The preacher should try to strike a balance. That in wherever you found yourself, be the best of whom you are. Contentment. It's only that not being contented that will make somebody who is 75 years old, you are married, you have your own children, you will go to defile a child of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You wouldn't say they seduce you because there is nothing attractive in the body of a child. I know everybody will be surprised. Why did she decide to choose this topic? Yesterday we were on outreach and we reached out to children in Kuchingoro and all of that. And I said after the whole thing, I will want to hear from children who are ready to speak out. Let's see how we can help the matter. And I found out that most of them are being defiled by their family members. And some of them got bold enough to speak up to a priest. And the priest said, don't mention it anywhere. Why? This girl was 6 years when this happened. And now she's 12. As small as that time, she came confiding in you. Not even her father, not her mother. But she saw you as a priest, someone closer to God. And you said, don't mention it to anybody. And you see this girl die every day. Because if she's not dying every day, if she's not harboring that in all the while, she wouldn't want to come to say, Auntie, I want to talk to you. She must have forgotten it. But no, she still wants something to be done. We need to tread with caution when we're doing spirituality and we shouldn't, because we're doing spirituality and we put another person into a trauma that will destroy her forever. He that wears the shoe knows where it pinches. I don't even know whether is the case of that child that made me to break down, but in all, if a child comes bold and tells you this happened to me, we shouldn't tell the child to sweep it under carpet and blame her for being available. She's in her father's house for Christ's sake. Even though you met her somewhere else, but she's in her father's house. You still see people who are predictors. That among those that are defiling these children, and when they hear that they're talking about what another person did, they go carry them for their head like Kanya, not knowing that they're one of those that have been doing it secretly. The religious have a lot of roles to play. Enough of this so tight space, pay seed and all of that, that even the poor that are among us cannot even attend school, and nobody is ready to help them from that tithe and whatever pay that they're paying. So the preaching should go beyond sow seed and sow and start going into transforming the mindset of this generation. Or are the preachers involved? Are they guilty of something that they don't want us to know? It's in this generation that men would say, if I don't test, I won't get married. Also, you wake up in the morning, the first thing you're thinking is sex. Why won't they go for they will still, when they look for it and they don't get it, they can do it to anyone that they see around. Because their mindset has been filled with filthiness. So everybody that is supposed to be part of this should start to work on changing the mindset of these children, changing the mindset of the youths, changing the mindset of the people. When we were growing up, we knew that a man just comes and picks a wife and marries a wife, and they live together. But since it became you test before you marry, the divorce rate has become so high. Most people can do anything just to pass the test. Then when they enter your home, there is no more competition. So the mindset is one thing that everybody should come out for us to, work on it. A friend posted today that women watch more porn than men. I'm not doubting that. You know why? Many have lived, they no longer think for themselves. They no longer think of how to impact their generation. They no longer think of how to become whom God wants them to become. They no longer think of how to change lives. All they think is how to satisfy just one man. And they end up not being significant till they die. I was talking to somebody and I said, the person was sort of comparing me with somebody else on some certain things that I know I would never get involved with. And I told him, you know the difference between I and that person? That the person is created to come to this world, serve one man, give birth to few children, and wait till she dies. But I am not just serving one man. I am serving my generation, and to bring children that will change the world. It mustn't be just my biological children. So the mindsets need to change. Until we make people understand that if you don't impact your society, you die the meaningless life. I met a mother who is getting aged, and with all her achievements, with all the people she gave meaning to their life, she still tells me that she feels she has not done enough. And she has been the motivation that makes me, I hardly come late for this program. Before I left the house, she called me. She said, have you not left the house? I said, Mommy, I will meet up with time. She said, I want you to always be there, relaxed before you start your program. And I understand that. She felt she has not done enough. And she felt this one, I see a difference among her. You need to do more than I have done. The preachers that are molding a lot of lives. Are you preaching from the altar of alcohol? Or from the laps of a woman? Why are you finding it difficult to nail it the way it is? It is something that is derailing these days. So much derailing that we don't need to just fold our hands and say and just keep quiet. I thank God for the priest that handled the Aduma case of a thing. When he called me, I said, this man, one of our colleagues said that he's a wanted man in Lagos State Police Command or so. That he raped a 13-year-old girl. And they brought the picture that they made available then. The priest was mad and said, I know it's not in my duty to do this, but this thing should go to court. And why would somebody else tell a child that is raped to conceal a case like that? We have a long way to go. I was talking with somebody and he was telling me that to prove that you'll be a good wife, you have to be vulgar. Says by who? Says by who? Marriage is not a show-off thing. It's a thing you walk out. You walk out. The Bible said, walk out your salvation with fear and trembling. So it's not something to flaunt. You walk it out. It's a work in progress. Until eternity, until you give up, until you die, you're still walking it. So it's not about being vulgar. Because you keep saying the negative things, you say a lot of things, and because you're saying it is piling up in your head. And when the desirable is not available, you make the available the desirable because your brain is filled up with something. What you feed yourself with has a lot to do with the manifestation of your character. Until we get to that level that when people are coming to church, it's not about you want to go to church on Saturdays, you go for confession, and those that are not Catholics really they fast and say God has forgiven them their sins. Shall you live in sin and grace will abide? If we keep ignoring saying the right thing to help these children, if we keep closing our eyes to molding the right generation, until we get to that level that when you start to talk some dirty things, you'll be looked at like somebody who wears the back of his clothes. If we don't get to that level, we are not going anywhere. I remember when we were growing up that if you wear trousers in the streets of Onitsha, all the children in the streets will come out to sing for you. Why you trouser? You know, and they will so embarrass you that another day you're not gonna do it. But these days, people come out in bomb shot. People do all manner of things and nobody cautions them. Civilization is not all about promoting immorality. You can still be morally sound and be civilized. What matters is, what do you have upstairs? Can I talk with you 1 hour reasonably and you don't fumble? Can you hold a serious conversation? Or you need to go and ask your mother before you answer some questions? Maybe we'll give you 2 weeks to get back to us on something. It's pathetic these days. Very, very pathetic. That even the church is failing these children. When I was growing up, I know about moral instruction. Every Thursdays, we have specific period for moral instructions, both in my primary school and in our secondary school. What took it off our timetable? Who was that immoral guru that removed that curriculum? Civilization is not about evil. It's about bringing out the best in you. Is Japanese not civilized? Are they not civilized? Can't we emulate them? Where a child can go a long walk to school and still come back safe without being kidnapped. Where the rate of defiling of a child is the lowest in the whole world. Can't we emulate them? That person sitting on the seat of government, can't you ask your counterpart over there, how did you achieve this? If our leaders are thinking, if they are researching how people who succeeded, at least we must have been adding some values. But no, they're not thinking. They're on different trips to just hide money and all of that. Picking small children and messing up with them. So long you can give heavy money in the church, you are a saint. Or wherever you worship. The traditionalist. When you see how great somebody would be, do you not see that they have defilements around them? That there is a child they've hurt so badly? Or your own spiritism don't see? Want to prophesy to somebody how they will be rich, how they will be the next world richest personality. But you're not seeing that there are children crying under that person. We need to take it to the pulpit. We need to take it to the mosques. We need to take it to the traditionalists. Everyone needs to preach it. Everyone needs to talk about it. If not, we'll be growing old in tears of keeping silence. Because silence in the face of evil is more evil. I wouldn't want to bother more. Let's take a break so you think about it. Meditate it. While we talk about it, please copy the link, share the link. You can still, contribute to your quota or by, messaging, or, you can still call us if you are disposed to do the calling from where you are. And the number to call is 0913 023602. 0913-023-6602. 0913-023-6602. This is the number to call and contribute to your quota. What do you think? Do the religious have something to do or to say to the high rate of defilement, rape against children in our society. Just copy our link, Efficient Grace for the Hopeless Foundation, and like our page. Subscribe to Good Governance Radio, www.ggr.com.ng. And we'll be back soonest. Just 3 seconds. We'll be back to you. Meditate on this.
You are listening to GGR, Good Governance Radio. Stay with us.
Welcome back. My name is Stella Marachi Mugochukwu, and I'm here with you on the program Salad, Operation Save a Life a Day. We're still talking on the role of the religious, both the imam, the preachers, the traditionalists as the DBS and native doctors, their role in the high rates of rape in our society. While we were growing up, we were doing this, will I say, secret competition on who will live more holy life than the other. I remember growing up, I said I was going to be a nun, and I really worked towards trying to become a nun until I found out that that's not my calling. Well, we got to that level out of work. I remember then that when you tell lies, you see it as a very ambiguous crime. As in lies stops us from taking communion, and lies stops us from, you feel ashamed of yourself. Even to go for that confession, you find it so difficult because it's something very tough. You know you're not with God. But these days, people don't even care to lie to you. They do all manner of things and they feel comfortable. If the preachers don't start to build it in the children of these days, I tell you, it's going to be very, very difficult to get them to do it at the old age. There's a lie a child told yesterday, and I was like, oh, as big as I am, a child lying against me. No, he played away and forgot himself playing. And when the mother asked him, he said, I was on a message by Auntie Amara. I said, wow. I said, what gave you the guts? In my presence, you lie? Okay, what was the message? He couldn't give anything tangible. And I thank God for the mother is an ancient woman. She doesn't take those rubbish that is raining this day. Just that. If it has got to that level, that means there is a lot that the preachers are not doing right. We had children mass, and we had priests that relate well with children and call our mass. Then that was 8 o'clock mass that time. And they speak in languages that we understand. These days, you see an adult, you're coming for 12 o'clock mass, and you're carrying your child, and then the child will stay in church, and after that, the child will go without even understanding hardly from anything that was spoken in the church. Where again will he hear the right thing? Is it in school? They're teaching them, academical stuff. There is no more morals. There is no more moral instruction in schools. No more moral instructions. So how would that child become better? What you saw in a child have a long way to go. Most parents, why I'm talking about the religious leaders, is that some religious this thing have schools in it. I see in my area, I see on Sundays that the imam gather the children and they talk to them. In the process of talking to them, let these seeds of good moral be sown in them. Let's not just gather them in vain. Because the parents have made the school a dumping ground for their children. Most people even dump their children in schools as young as at little age as 3 months. Yeah, they're married because others are married, but the money is more important than even the family they should build. The money is more important. So they go after that money, which they have to pay tithe from. They go after that money, which they have taught them that is more paramount than anything. The competition is everywhere. They want to come to the village and drive big cars. They want to post on vacation, post pictures that they're on vacation in Canada, they're on vacation in Disneyland and all of that. And that is why they dump their children in school going after money. They don't need distraction. Most of our mothers were stay-at-home moms. And they had side hustles. Even with their stay-at-home, when their husband asks for help, they still render help. Because it's their brain they use in working and not their physical body. They dump their children. They don't care what happens when the child is out there. And they pray that when they're coming to pick the child, let it be that the child is already sleeping. That's enough reason that the church have a lot to do now. The mosque have a lot to do now. The ordinary people, because most people have left Christianity, left the Islamic religion, and they say it's traditional religion. So the chief priests in the traditional aspect of religion, they have also a lot to do. But I want to ask, can somebody give what he does not have or what she does not have? The value to humanity can never be overemphasized. I know when we're talking, some people will be like, while I listen to you, I just get carried away that at times I forget to call. Sometimes I'll be carried away that I wouldn't even know how to, what to say again. Don't be carried away. Is there anything you want to ask? Feel free to throw in your question on call the number 0913-023-6602. 0913-023-6602. So we're still talking on the role of the religious on the increasing rate of rape, child sexual abuse in the country, Nigeria. if we are the most religious country, we should be the most morally sound and decent country. But the reverse is the case. Are we going to continue in this? Sometimes I will listen to the preacher and I'll be like, wow, is this how we're going to end it? We tell stories and go. And while in church, the woman or the man that in a haste to get home, so they dump the children with house help and dash out to catch their weekend fun. Forgetting that they've brought a life to this world. And whatever happens to that life has a lot to do with what they did with that life. What seed they sowed in that life. If the preachers were not able to plant a lot of good seeds to the parents would be lacking in what to give to the children. Each time I call on government, I call on women affairs, I call on drug agencies and all of that to come join us. And I am calling on the preachers as well. There are ones with 3 private jets. Has evangelism finished? Evangelism is not about praise the Lord and we talk and sow seed. You can donate that money and say, let's take a tour around the schools in Nigeria and teach them about sex education. Use videos and teach them about morals. I remember a team that was going around in my secondary school days. They were just showing some cinemas and all of that. This one that they tie, then it was tie pepper or wrap on the wall, white wrap on the wall, and they, do a lot of things and all. We'll call it cinema then. So somebody can just, even as a religious lead, sponsor that and give it like 5 years for them to go around the schools. But no, we're not thinking, because the mind has been polluted with mammon. Everybody is thinking money, not knowing that with your wealth, if this youth get deteriorated, they will come after you. They will make the environment inconducive. Because there is nothing they should be afraid of. They were not cultured to do that. So they just live anyhow. So I think, not just I think, it's right time we call upon the preachers, the imam, the traditionalists, the priests, the pastors, the men of God, anything men of God, as many that collect the name of God, let them come. Since Nigerians listen to their spiritualists more than anything, let's use the men of God to get these people to change their mindset and protect the children. Let's preach it. Let's talk about it. Some churches, some, will I say, imams are rich that they can sponsor 1 or 2 things or programs. It's not just about your physical finances, but you can use your intellect or your avenue to, preach this. Some sponsor their church programs on satellite and a lot of things through media and all of that. I want to give you one tip. There's this man in Anambra that says the Angelus. Each time they finish saying the Angelus, you will just hear powered by so person Maria. Why not we kick off a picture, a short video of maybe against sexual violence, or maybe a jingle against sexual violence, and you power it, sponsor it. Let's do that platform and promote you. Each time we finish ringing, we'll say powered by so person into so thing. These are ways to do it. I know it may not have come to your idea that you can do that, but we can do it. You can do it. The outreach we went yesterday that was sponsored by Mrs. Mabel Chinwe and our daddy, Mr. Francis Okumagba, and they were not there, but they said, okay, feed these children and talk to them. So they powered that event. And there's a credit to them. So you too can do it. So we're calling on all the people that are concerned and are after seeking how to, sort out the problem and the pandemic of child sexual abuse in this country to come together, and we can be in partnership, have short clips, videos, have jingles that we can play time to time, get it to go viral, sponsor the ads that we have against child sexual violence, and we get these things going, that by the time it gets into the society, a lot of people that from their subconscious mind, it will pile up, and you see them changing automatically without being, being talked to. By the time they see, some of them don't even know that what they're doing is bad. Some don't even know that that they shouldn't sleep with their siblings or sleep with their cousins. So by the time we keep doing it, and you see it going viral, and we will be winning one or two souls, and before you know it, morals will be restored in our society. So I am calling on the well-meaning Nigerians to partner with us to, get things done as we continue to evangelize on against child sexual violence, domestic violence, and drug addiction, because these are the three major things that is ruining this country and bringing them into the state which we found ourselves. So you're still with me on Efficient Grace for the Hopeless Foundation, live on Good Governance Radio, www.ggr.com.ng. That is where we stay to do this program live in Abuja. And we will be coming to you again on Wednesday, and I know it's going to be something great. And we hope that day it will be greater than what we have always been doing. And we hope you partner with us. Just place a call. We're just a step distant from you, and we wish to work with you to see that we restore love and good morals to humanity. I'm still your number one love giver, Amarachi Mugochukwu. Thank you for listening to us. Bye for now.
You are listening to GGR, Good Governance Radio. Stay with us.